You know that moment
I know the one.
when you open your mouth to speak English?
And then, silence.
Exactly. You have the perfect sentence in your head.
But it just feels too slow to come out.
It sounds awkward or maybe too formal, right?
Totally. You pause because you're thinking about verb conjugation.
Or which preposition is correct.
And suddenly, the moment is gone.
We've all been there. It's the worst feeling when you want to speak naturally.
We want to sound fast.
We want to sound smooth.
We want to sound, well, maybe a little more like a native speaker.
That's why we're here today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Leo.
And I'm Mia.
Welcome to the English Blend. We help you learn real English.
Today, we are diving deep into a technique that changes everything.
It's called shadowing.
Shadowing, speak exactly like native speakers, is our title today.
We're going to show you how to literally copy the sound, rhythm, and flow of English.
It's not just about words, it's about music.
Exactly. So grab your coffee and let's get started.
Okay, Leo, before we talk about how to do shadowing, we have to clear up one major thing.
The big question, fluency versus accuracy.
Right. What does it mean to be fluent?
Most people think fluency means zero mistakes.
Perfect grammar, perfect vocabulary, never tripping up.
But that's actually accuracy. Accuracy is about being correct.
Fluency is different. Fluency is about communication.
It's about movement. Think of water flowing.
If water stops because it hits too many rocks, it's not flowing anymore.
English is the same. Fluency means keeping the conversation going.
Even if you make a little grammar mistake, that's okay.
Native speakers make mistakes all the time, you know.
We use incomplete sentences, we mix up lay and lie. It happens.
The goal for learners shouldn't be perfection right away.
The goal should be to get your point across. That's a key phrase we want to introduce today. Get your point across.
It means making sure the other person understands your message.
It doesn't matter if you use the wrong tense as long as they understand what you mean. For example, if I say, yesterday I go to the store.
It's not accurate. It should be went, but I completely understand what you did.
I got my point across. Communication successful.
We often see learners prioritizing 100% accuracy over speaking speed.
They pause too long, building the perfect grammatical structure in their minds.
And those long pauses, they break the flow. They kill the fluency.
And that brings us to the biggest blocker for most A2 and B1 learners.
Grammar.
Oh, the dreaded grammar rules.
Grammar is important. Don't misunderstand us. You need it for reading and writing.
But when you are speaking in real time, focusing too much on grammar is deadly.
Why? Because your brain has limited processing power in the moment.
You are listening, understanding, thinking of a response, and trying to speak.
If you add checking the past perfect continuous rule to that list,
Your brain just freezes. You hit a wall.
that's our second key phrase today. Hit a wall. It means you suddenly stop making progress or you get blocked mentally.
You're speaking smoothly, then you hit a difficult concept or a tense you aren't sure about, and boom, you hit a wall. You can't think of the next word. You stutter, you feel embarrassed.
We need to move the grammar checking from the active speaking part of your brain to the background
How do we do that?
by treating language like music, not math.
Grammar is math. Speaking is music.
Shadowing helps you learn the rhythm and sound patterns of English. It forces you to ignore the little rules for a moment and focus on the overall sound.
Think about learning a song on the piano. You don't analyze every note's frequency first.
You just copy the melody until your fingers know where to go naturally.
English sounds, rhythm, and intonation are also things your mouth needs to copy naturally.
That's the core of shadowing. You are becoming an echo.
You are listening to a native speaker and speaking at the same time, or just half a second behind them.
It's powerful because it connects listening directly to speaking.
It bypasses that annoying grammar checking stage in your brain.
You are copying the whole chunk of sound.
You aren't processing individual words or rules. You're copying the sound block.
This is essential for sounding natural. Native speakers don't speak in single words.
We connect everything. We blend sounds together.
Things like I am going to become I'm gonna.
Did you eat yet becomes did you eat yet?
If you study the grammar rules, you learn did you.
But if you practice shadowing, your mouth learns didja instantly.
That's what makes shadowing the ultimate tool for pronunciation and flow.
It teaches your mouth the moves, like choreography.
Let's talk about a short story that illustrates why sound is more important than perfection.
Absolutely. This relates to accents. Many learners worry about losing their accent,
Or they worry their accent makes them sound less intelligent.
which is completely untrue, by the way. Accents are beautiful.
But clarity is key. Sometimes an accent can interfere with communication, not because of the accent itself, but because the rhythm is wrong.
I once had a colleague from Italy. Wonderful person, very high level of English vocabulary.
Great grammar knowledge,
Impeccable grammar, could write perfect emails.
but talking face-to-face was difficult?
Exactly. When he spoke, he put stress on the wrong syllables in words.
Ah, the rhythm problem.
For instance, he would say communication instead of communication.
So the listener had to pause and reprocess the word just to catch it.
It wasn't the words themselves, it was the music. The stress pattern was throwing people off.
When he started shadowing, focusing only on repeating the melody of native speech,
His clarity improved dramatically within weeks. He wasn't focusing on grammar anymore. He was focusing on copying the sound and stress exactly.
he started saying communication because his mouth learned the pattern through repetition.
That's a great example of how shadowing helps you speak exactly like native speakers, in terms of sound and rhythm, even if you keep your original accent.
Your mouth needs muscle memory, just like a dancer or a musician.
Shadowing builds that muscle memory for sound. So let's move on to the practical steps. How do we actually do this?
We have 3 essential tips for effective shadowing.
Tip number 1, massive listening first.
You can't shadow something you haven't heard many times before.
Choose one short piece of audio, maybe 30 seconds to 1 minute long. A short dialogue, a commercial, or a clip from a show.
It must be interesting to you. You need to listen to it maybe 20 or 30 times.
Just listen. Listen for the emotion, the speed, the pauses, the connection of words.
You need to internalize the sound before you try to produce it.
Don't read the transcript yet. Just listen, listen, listen.
Think of it like hearing a catchy tune many times until you can hum it.
That's the first step of building the internal model. Massive listening.
Tip number 2, chunking and the 3-second rule.
Shadowing isn't about repeating the whole minute of audio perfectly at once.
That's too overwhelming, especially at A2 or B1 level.
We need to break the audio into small, manageable chunks.
Think of phrases, not sentences, maybe 3 or 4 words at a time.
The 3-second rule is key here. Focus on repeating what you just heard within 3 seconds.
The immediacy is crucial. It keeps your brain in the sound copying mode, not the analyzing mode.
Listen to the phrase, "Do you want to grab a coffee later?"
Repeat it immediately. Do you want to grab a coffee later?
Don't pause to think, oh, wanna is a reduction of want to.
Just copy the sound. Do you wanna?
If you wait longer than 3 seconds, your analytical brain takes over.
And suddenly you're back to checking grammar and you hit a wall again.
So, listen, repeat, short bursts.
3 seconds maximum delay.
This is great for building that mouth muscle memory we talked about.
And you get really comfortable using common everyday phrases together.
The phrases are stored as chunks, not as individual words.
Let's talk about common chunks used in a cafe setting.
Okay, like, can I get a large latte?
You practice that whole chunk together.
Not can I get a large latte?
But fast and smooth, copying the rhythm. Can I get a large latte?
Another chunk. That's all for me, thanks.
Practice saying it with the slight upward tone at the end.
That's all for me, thanks. mimicking the rising intonation.
This is why massive listening is so important for those chunks. You hear how the native speaker uses the rising tone to signal they are finished ordering.
And then you copy that emotional tone and intonation via shadowing.
Tip number 3, use a mirror and record yourself. This sounds a little embarrassing maybe, but it's essential for feedback.
When you shadow, you need to see how your mouth moves. English uses sounds that might not exist in your native language.
For example, the v sound. You need to see where your tongue goes.
Looking in the mirror while shadowing helps you correct your physical production of the sound.
It's immediate visual feedback. Are my lips rounded for ooh? Is my tongue behind my teeth for L?
And recording yourself helps you hear the difference between your version and the native speaker's version.
You might think you sound fast and smooth, but when you play it back, you might realize you're pausing too much or stressing the wrong word.
Comparison is the key to correction in shadowing.
So, massive listening, small chunks with the 3-second rule, and self-monitoring with a mirror and recording.
Those 3 steps will hugely boost your fluency and help you get your point across.
Let's talk a little more about handling errors.
When people start shadowing, they sometimes get frustrated if they can't keep up.
They try to match the speaker's speed and pronunciation perfectly on the first try.
And they feel like failures if they mess up a word. They hit a wall emotionally.
We need to remember our last key phrase today, not the end of the world.
Not the end of the world means it's not a serious problem. It's manageable.
If you mess up a word during shadowing or even in a real conversation,
Just keep going. It's not the end of the world.
the important thing is maintaining that flow. Remember, fluency over accuracy initially.
If you make a mistake while shadowing, don't rewind and obsess over that one word.
Just keep flowing until the short audio chunk is finished.
Then you can try that chunk again.
This technique trains your brain to prioritize momentum.
That way, when you speak in a meeting or at a cafe, if you stumble,
You won't stop completely. You'll just slightly correct yourself and keep talking.
you won't hit a wall and freeze up.
That's the goal. Continuous communication. Getting your point across every time.
Let's review some practical application scenarios for these phrases.
Imagine you're giving a presentation at work. You use the wrong tense.
Your boss understands the message, but you feel terrible.
You tell yourself, I used past tense instead of past perfect. Oh well, not the end of the world.
The audience understood me. I got my point across. That's success.
Now imagine you are studying and the conditional clauses are just too confusing.
You spent 3 hours and you still don't understand if I had gone, I would have been.
You feel tired and frustrated, like you are stuck. You hit a wall.
What should you do?
Take a break from grammar.
Go practice shadowing instead, using real-life speech that uses those conditionals naturally.
Let your mouth learn the pattern without analyzing the rules.
You can always come back to the grammar later.
The speaking muscle needs constant exercise, separate from the analyzing muscle. This is especially helpful when dealing with reductions and connected speech.
Yeah, sci-fi is really good. The Academy is interesting. It's about this wild superhero family. Really cool and wild ride.
If you only learn grammar, you learn, what are you doing?
But if you shadow, you learn the real speed sound. What you doing?
And that sound is what you will hear in 90% of real conversations.
If you only listen for the grammar, you'll be confused by the speed.
But if you shadow, you train your ear and your mouth simultaneously.
Let's take another example of getting your point across.
You're trying to describe a movie, and you forget the word protagonist.
You use a simpler phrase, the main character.
You still got your point across. The communication worked perfectly.
Focus on making yourself understood, not on using the highest vocabulary level.
Fluency is about efficiency, not decoration.
And remember, shadowing is the fastest way to bridge the gap between knowing the word and actually saying the word naturally.
It forces you to imitate the native speaker's speed.
That speed is what makes English sound so musical and fluid.
If you try to speak fast without shadowing, you often stumble or use unnatural pauses.
Shadowing trains you to put the stress on the right words in the sentence.
Like in the phrase, I think we should go now. The stress is on go because that's the most important word in the idea.
Shadowing helps you catch that emphasis without needing a lesson on sentence stress rules.
You just copy the sound pattern, right?
Exactly, and that makes your English much more understandable.
It all comes back to massive listening first. The more quality native content you listen to,
The better model you have stored in your brain for shadowing practice.
and remember, keep those chunks small. The 3-second rule is your best friend.
Don't try to copy a 10-word sentence immediately. Break it down into 2 parts. Listen to the first part, echo it quickly, then listen to the second part, echo it quickly.
And please, please use a mirror and record yourself.
Don't let awkward feelings stop you from getting vital feedback. It's the only way to catch those subtle differences in pronunciation that you might be missing.
This process helps you move from consciously thinking about grammar to unconsciously producing correct language patterns.
It turns learning into automatic behavior, like driving a car. At first, you think about every action, clutch, gear, mirror.
After practice, you just drive.
Shadowing makes speaking automatic, like pressing the accelerator. You don't analyze the engine components, you just drive.
You don't analyze the grammar. You just speak.
And if you make a tiny error, not the end of the world.
You keep moving forward.
You ensure you get your point across.
And if you get stuck, remember you might have hit a wall and just need a 5-minute break to reset your focus.
Take a deep breath and start shadowing that short clip again.
Practice this every day for 10 minutes. Consistency is better than intensity.
10 minutes of focused shadowing beats 1 hour of worrying about grammar rules.
It really builds speed and confidence.
And confidence is the biggest factor in fluency.
When you sound smooth, you feel brave enough to speak more often.
And the more you speak, the more fluent you become. It's a positive circle.
So let's try to summarize everything we've talked about today, Leo.
We defined fluency as communication, not perfection, and separated it from accuracy.
We noted that focusing too much on grammar during speech causes us to hit a wall and break the flow.
We introduced shadowing as the core technique for copying the sound, rhythm, and flow of native speech.
We gave 3 essential tips: massive listening, chunking with the 3-second rule, and using a mirror and recording for self-correction.
And we emphasized our useful phrases: get your point across, communication success, hit a wall, mental block, and not the end of the world. Don't panic over mistakes.
Practice those sounds, copy that melody, and your English fluency will soar.
Start small, be patient, and remember, even if you make errors, it's not the end of the world.
Absolutely. Focus on that communication. Focus on getting your message out there.
Use this method when you hear English you like, whether it's in a movie or another podcast episode.
Find a voice you love and shadow it until you sound just like them.
That was a great talk.
Yes, thank you for joining us today.
We hope you enjoyed this dive into shadowing.
Next week, we are talking all about phrasal verbs.
We'll break down the most common ones you need for work and travel.
So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it.
See you in the next episode of The English Blend.
Happy shadowing, everyone!
Bye for now.